Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue to go over the reference materials. We're getting into the second half now, so today we will be doing you can see where our trip is shorter each and every episode. But today we'll be doing the MiG-29. And there's actually two entries we're covering here because they have separate entries for the MiG-29 and the MiG-29M. And for once, the MiG-29M entry isn't just like a copy of the MiG-29 entry. It actually... Wow, okay, I already see problems in there, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, the MiG-29 Fulcrum. Title, Mikoyan MiG-29. NATO reporting name, Fulcrum. Indian Air Force name, Baz, or Eagle. Type, all-weather single-seat counter-air fighter with attack capability and two-seat combat trainer. Program, technical assignment or operational requirement issued 1972 to replace the MiG-21, MiG-23, Su-15, and Su-17. Initial order placed simultaneously. Detailed design began 1974. First of 14 prototypes built for factory and state testing flew 6th of October 1977. Photographed by U.S. satellite, Ramenskoye Flight Test Center, November 1977, and given interim Western designation RAM-L. Second prototype flew June 1978. Second and fourth prototypes lost through engine failures. After major design changes, see previous editions of Jane's, production began 1982. Deliveries to Frontal Aviation 1984. Operational early 1985. First detailed Western study possible after visited demonstration team to Finland, July of 1986. Production of basic MiG-29 combat aircraft by Moscow Aircraft Production Group, or MAPO, and of MiG-29 UB combat trainers at Nizhny Novgorod for CIS Air Force is completed, but manufacture for export continues. Design features. All-swept low-wing configuration with wide ogival wing leading-edge root extensions, lift-generating fuselage, twin tail fins carried on booms outboard of widely spaced engines with wedge intakes. Doors and intakes actuated by extension and compression of nose wheel leg prevent ingestion of foreign objects during takeoff and landing. Gap between roof of each intake and skin of wing root extension for boundary layer bleed. Fire control emission computers link radar with laser rangefinder and infrared search and track sensor in conjunction with helmet mounted target designator. Radar able to track 10 targets simultaneously. Targets can be approached and engaged without emission of detectable radio or radar signals. Sustained turn rate much improved over earlier Soviet fighters, thrust-to-weight ratio better than 1, allowable angles of attack at least 70% higher than previous fighters, difficult to get into stable flat spin, reluctant to enter normal spin, recovers as soon as controls released, wing leading edge sweep back 73 degrees 30 minutes on leading edge root extensions, 42 degrees on outer panels. Anhedral approximately 2 degrees, tail fins canted outward 6 degrees, leading edge sweep 47 degrees, 50 minutes on fins, approximately 50 degrees on horizontal surfaces. Design flying life 2,500 hours. Structure. Approximately 7% of airframe by weight of composites, remainder metal including aluminum lithium alloys, trailing edge wing, flaps, ailerons, and vertical tail surfaces of carbon fiber honeycomb. Approximately 65% of horizontal tail surfaces, aluminum alloy, remainder carbon fiber. Semi-knock all-metal fuselage, sharply tapered and downswept aft of flat-sided cockpit area with ogival dielectric nose cone. Small vortex generator each side of nose helps to overcome early tendency to aileron reversal at angles of attack above 25 degrees. Tail surfaces carried on slim booms alongside engine nacelles. Landing gear. Retractable tricycle type made by Hydromash with single wheel on each main unit and twin nose wheels. Main wheels retract forward into wing roots, turning through 90 degrees to lie flat above leg. Nose wheels on trailing link oleal retract rearward between engine air intakes. Hydraulic retraction and extension with mechanical emergency release. Nose wheels steerable plus or minus 8 degrees for taxiing, takeoff, and landings, plus or minus 30 degrees for slow speed maneuvering in confined areas, selector and cockpit. Power plant, 2 Kilmov Sarkisov RD-33 turbofans, each rated for 49.4 kilonewtons or 11,110 pounds force drive, and 54.9 to 81.4 wow, that's a big range. 54.9 to 81.4 kilonewtons or 12,345 to 18,300 pounds force with afterburning. Engine ducts canted at approximately 9 degrees with wedge intake swept back at approximately 35 degrees under wing root leading edge extensions. Multi-segment ramp system including top hinge forward door containing a very large number of small holes inside each intake that closes the duct while aircraft is taking off or landing to prevent ingestion of foreign objects, ice, or snow. Air is then fed to each engine through luves in the top of wing root, leading edge extension, and perforations in duct closure door. Basic Fulcrum A has 4 integral fuel tanks in inboard portion of each wing and in fuselage between wings. Total capacity 4,365 liters or 1,153 US gallons or 960 imperial gallons. Accommodation, pilot only on 10 degrees incline K36DM00 ejection seat under rearward hinge transparent blister canopy in high-set cockpit. Sharply inclined one-piece curved windscreen, 3 internal mirrors provide rearward view. Avionics, RP-29 or N019 Sapphire 29 coherent pulse Doppler look-down, shoot-down engagement radar, NATO designation slot back, search range 54 nautical miles or 100 kilometers or 62 miles. Tracking range 38 nautical miles or 70 kilometers or 43 miles. Target tracking limits 60 degrees up, 38 degrees down, 67 degrees each side. Collimated with laser range finder, infrared search and track sensor, fighter detection range 8 nautical miles or 15 kilometers or 9.25 miles. Forward of windscreen protected by removable fairing on non-operational flights. R862 radio, ARC-19DF inertial navigation system, SRO-2 NATO designation odd rods, IFF transponder, and SRZ-15 interrogator. Serena 3 360 degree radar warning system with sensors on wing root extensions, wingtips, and port fin. 2 SO69 ECM antenna under conformal dielectric fairings and leading edge of each wing root extension. Head-up display and helmet-mounted target designation system for off-axis aiming of air-to-air missiles. Armament, 6 close-range R60 MK or NATO designation AA-8 AFID infrared air-to-air missiles, or 4 R60 MK and 2 medium-range radar-guided R27R1, NATO designation AA-10A Alamo A, and 3 pylons under each wing. Alternative air combat weapons includes R-73E or AA-11 Archer close-range infrared missiles, able to carry FAB-250 bombs, KMGU-2 submunitions dispensers, 3B-500 napalm tanks, and 80mm, 130mm, and 240mm rockets in attack role. 130mm GSH-301 gun in port wing root leading edge extension with 150 rounds. Dimensions external, wingspan 11.36 meters or 37 feet 3 1/4 inches, wing chord at CL 5.6 meters or 18 feet 4 1/2 inches, at tip 1.27 meters or 4 feet 2 inches. Wing aspect ratio 3.5, length overall including nose probe 17.32 meters or 56 feet 10 inches, excluding nose probe 16.28 meters or 53 feet 5 inches. Height overall 4.73 meters or 15 feet 6 1/4 inches, tail plane span 7.78 meters or 25 feet 6 1/4 inches. Weights and loadings, operating weight empty 10,900 kilograms or 24,030 pounds. Max weapon load 3,000 kilograms or 6,615 pounds. Max fuel load 4,640 kilograms or 10,230 pounds. Normal takeoff weight in the interceptor roll 15,240 kilograms or 33,600 pounds. Max takeoff weight 18,500 kilograms or 40,785 pounds. Max wing loading 486.8 kilograms per meter squared, or 99.7 pounds per square foot. Max power loading, 113.6 kilograms per kilonewton, or 1.11 pounds per pound force. Performance, max level speed, at height, Mach 2.3, or 1,320 knots, or 2,445 kilometers per hour, or 1,520 miles per hour. At sea level, Mach 1.06, or 700 knots, or 1,300 kilometers per hour, or 805 miles per hour. Max rate of climb at sea level, 19,800 meters, or 65,000 feet per minute. Surface ceiling, 17,000 meters, or 55,775 feet. Range with max internal fuel, 810 nautical miles, or 1,500 kilometers, or 932 miles. With underbelly auxiliary tank, 1,113 nautical miles, or 2,100 kilometers, or 1,305 miles. G limits above Mach 0.85 plus 7, below Mach 0.85 plus 9. Length 17.32 meters, height 4.73 meters, wingspan 11.36 meters, max takeoff weight 18,500 kilograms, max wing load 486.8 kilograms per meter squared, max level speed 700 knots at sea level, max range 1,133 nautical miles, takeoff run 250 meters, landing run 600 meters, max rate of climb 19,800 meters per minute, and a surface ceiling of 17,000 meters. And here we can see a fairly detailed 3D view for an NPC, or a fighter that's generally NPC. You can see it is indeed the single seat version, as it only has the one. Is it? Yeah, because that's the heads up display, but at certain angles it kind of looks like another pilot helmet. So you can see how widely spaced these engines are, and they got the little wedge in between them. You can even see the ever slight canting to the tails, because they said what, 6 degrees in the information. So pretty well detailed model there. And for the MiG-29 in game, you can see they replaced that kind of detailed model with just a camouflage pattern, which, in my opinion, doesn't look as good. Makes it look more retro, at least as far as the game's graphics go. But there are a few more decals on there, which are interesting, because I think these are generally US decals, but I could be mistaken on that. I just don't ever recall seeing decals like this on a Russian fighter, but could be wrong. I'm sure they had their own set of decals, but as far as the MiG-29M goes, MiG-29M Factory Index 9.15, Advanced Multi-Role Tactical Fighter for control of upper airspace, ground attack, and naval high-altitude precision weapons control. Greatly redesigned airframe, 286.3 kilonewton or 19,400 pounds force, Kilmov RD-33K turbofans, quadruplex fly-by-wire controls and glass cockpit with 2 multifunction CRTs. Not push button, but hold tops. Modifications to extend aft center of gravity. Limit for relaxed stability. First to 6 prototypes flown 25th of April 1986 with RD-33 engines. First flight with RD-33K engines late 1989. First exhibited at Mashulisha Airfield, February 1992. Enlarged engine air intakes with movable lower lip to increase mass flow on takeoff. N010 Zuck terrain following and ground mapping radar in larger diameter radome. New longer range infrared search and track, added TV and laser designator marked target seeker. Claimed more comfortable to fly with increased permissible angle of attack, better maneuverability, improved cruise efficiency. 8 underwing hardpoints for 4,500 kilograms or 9,920 pounds of stores, including 4 laser-guided KH-25ML, or NATO designation AS-10 Karen, or KH-29L, or NATO designation AS-14 Kedge, radar homing KH-31P/A, NATO designation AS-17 Krypton, or TV-guided KH-29T, or NATO designation AS-14 Kedge, air-to-surface missiles. 8 R-77 AA-12 AMRAAM close class air-to-air missiles. Okay, so they say AMRAAM class, but this is NATO designation AA-12 Adder, I do believe, which, funny enough, in Russian service has been called the Amramsky. because of its resemblance to the Hammer. Or 500 kilogram TV guided bombs. Please see previous article, MiG-29, for additional information. So the MiG-29M is basically a modernization pass that they did to bring it up to modern standards. And they've even done another one since that's more akin to kind of the modernization pass that the Hornet received that turned it into the Super Hornet. Not quite as extensive, but extensive enough that it's received the designation MiG-35, if I'm not mistaken. And that's currently what Russia's trying to put in service, although obviously with the lack of funds has always been kind of an issue for them since the Cold War, and now with Ukraine draining their funds, it's not likely to be too terribly widespread, although the original MiG-29s are now getting fame in the said war, on Ukraine's side at least, for flying sorties against incredible odds and still coming out on top, at least some of the time. So, it proves that it's a solid aircraft, especially in the right hands. It's all about, equipment's only half the battle. The other half is how you use it. And that's an important lesson for pretty much anyone to learn early and learn often. But with that being said, that is our time for today. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.